Hello everyone, this is MaffumanCasting, the StarCraft Star Battle. We got a 6-on-6 shipbuilding action game starring Raphael. Raphael coming on in with a little bit of speed and range, mostly on his Guardian. Firestash comes on in with a secret missile for his Raven. We got Ghost and Furia. Furia has the Plague. Let's see if Ghost goes for the Plague as well. Oh, and he does. And we got two Colossi from Huzzah and Ghetto SC. Huzzah looks like he went for the 1-1-1-1-1 build, speed, and that. Ghetto SC looks like he went for less speed. Maybe he went for the, I don't know, maybe the automatic upgrade thing. Let's see. Compared to Predator, 1.61 speed, and more escorts and missiles and range and all that. Jimber coming on in. Jimber coming on in has that feedback. Doesn't use it right now, and actually wouldn't do anything to get it right there. Condriac coming on in with his Guardian, got that 1.61 speed, got a little bit of extra range, and we got a Gothic coming on in. Gothic got plagued by Ghost, and he has that missiles. He's got range. Missiles and range are a pretty good thing for a Gothic thing, Gothic frigate to get. Let's see, and we got Butthairs. Butthairs coming on in. Butthairs got lots of range and missiles as well. Double Plague. Now, Double Plague on a frigate is actually like a pretty much guaranteed go on back to basic sentence. Jimber, you got to now he doesn't have any. Perfect Plague. While we're oohing, you're also gonna watch out for this health right there. Predator's gonna make it back to base, but he's quite hurt. 1-2 plagues on either the Colossus or the frigate are really going to kind of push them back to wanting to go back to base. You don't want to fly around with like 2 few health right there. So the red side is farming. They're going to farm right now. Blue side is all back to buy base. Red side has 2 overlords, and so they kind of do have to get that money. Another perfect Plague. Now, Plague is going to be really good at the very beginning, so like it's not unusual to be loved by some Plague right now. I mean, everybody's getting a little bit of love right there, and it's also going to basically force the other team back. But it's not a death sentence. You're going to get a little bit more money. That happens. You're going to be able to push a little more. That happens. But you can't support Plague indefinitely. He actually went for a little bit less speed and just put all the extra money into energy, and he only has 300. Well, it costs 100 to shoot off a Plague in the very beginning. So even, both of them who did upgrade it, they can shoot some Plagues. The blue team went back, and then they're going to be fine, because you just don't have enough energy to continually Plague air bomb at it all the time. Even though you want to, and even though nobody's missed a Plague just yet. Furia has the 1.82 speed, so now you can definitely keep up with them at 1.82 speed as opposed to 1.61. There's no way the Overlords can run away from them, or Huzzah could run away from them even at 1.71 speed, which is upgraded. He's going to take more and more damage. Missiles, 1.82 speed, getting away with no laser battery upgrades for right now. It's still within the first 4 minutes ish. It's still within the first 10 minutes of where farming is easier, so you can definitely get away with it. So the blue side moves on back. The money is now evened out. Huzzah taking a little bit of a hull damage, even though he's a shield tank. Furia coming on in saying, I've got the energy. But I upgraded Plague. He upgraded Plague. He upgraded Plague to the ultimate-ish Plague. It now does 1,600 damage when earlier, let's see what it does. I think it is at, nope, he upgraded it as well. I think it's only at 1 at 20, 1,200. Now it's at 1,600. But it costs 150 energy. Again, more of an event spin. Yeah, it's going to do more damage, but definitely push people back, definitely scare them off. Buggy is going to run away, pretty easily. So now Ghetto SC trying to chase down the rest of the team, but the rest of the team is upgraded. Condriac has 1.61 speed, but he was kind of running away relatively quickly. Altered, we haven't talked about you. Oh my gosh, you're getting plagued and slapped while we gotta talk about you quickly. 1.41 speed, he has no speed upgrades whatsoever. No speed upgrades whatsoever. Oh no, he is taking it out. Sorry for not introducing you, but you're dead now. Butthairs taking another Plague as he runs away. Raphael launching the Scourge at him, launching Scourge while... Now, will that be able to take him out? Oh, the Scourge retargeted because they went out of the line of sight, and the Scourge retargeted back to hit Gothic, or at least maybe bounce on his shield or something like that. all within the Warp Prism. So, Raphael almost delivered a killing blow to Gothic right there, except there is a fog of war, which you can't see because we have the all vision on. Let's see. I just put it on the Raphael cam to show you. But Jimber takes a secret missile as well. Butthairs staying alive. Butthairs got missiles, definitely got that range. 11 range on his missiles and 9 on his lasers. And he is flying into Sky Furies, but you know, that was a worthy damage investment. Got Predator moving on in. Predator's got that Thermal Lance. Now, Thermal Lance is actually going to do really well right now because nobody's draining energy. I mean, he saw the Overlords going for Plague. He saw the Raven going for Secret Missile and said, okay, well, they've got damage. You know what they don't have? They don't have any energy drain. They could both get it eventually, but they don't have it right now. So the Thermal Lance is a great thing to get. You know, it's kind of the main like Colossus thing to do. It just does cost energy. So it's like turning energy into damage. Launching Scourge, and they all kind of like jerked out. Again, they just went out of the visual range of Raphael. But here you go, he's going to target them on the Predator. Predator's going to take a whole bunch of damage. Not quite going into the shields. Also, because he upgraded his Thermal Lance, he could shoot them down, which is a good thing to do. But it is a timing thing, and you know, if he didn't have it, couldn't quite do it. No, we got that Ghetto. Ghetto moving on up. Ghetto has lots of shields. Looks like farming and missiles. Huzzah, similar. Kind of remembering to be kind of like sustained damage doers, because we got some Plague, and Plague's great doing that whole damage, but they're also going to have to make sure that they also stay alive and can continue the fight after the main burst is done. Blue side being cautious, blue side being hurt, so being cautious. Kind of staying around the middle. You're going to see this is going to be kind of like a lineup, a scrimmage line. Perfect Plague, hitting Butthairs, by the way. Furia, going on back. He's got 400. And, you know, they're now fighting towards the middle-ish instead of towards the other people's bases. Ghost doing a bunch of damage. He has 6 upgrades on his Mutalisks, really trying to farm there. Mutalisks are great for farming. They're, you know, okay-ish eventually, maybe for doing some damage to the capital ships, but that's not really the main function. Ghetto SC got a very helpful defensive matrix from Fire Stash. Now, again, he doesn't have the energy drain abilities, unlike Jimber. Jimber just used it. Another perfect Plague, hidden Predator. Another Plague on Kondraak. Now, Kondraak has Broodlords super early. I mean, okay, so he's got some great abilities and not much ability to, you know, feed them. He's got 275. He's got the Corrosive Acid, that's great. He can do extra damage. Dark Storm is great to protect yourself. Broodlords and Corruptors are great, I guess, for sieging and all that. But 275, I mean, he's just hurting for energy. So let's see how much of that 626 he's going to spend into that. He does have Adrenal Overload, but you don't want to rely on that. 275, a little better. A little better. You could do even more. Red side retreating, blue side advancing. Jimber using that feedback, the only one who actually chooses to use a energy drain ability. He gets feedback. I mean, pretty much everybody's a good target though. So it's one of the kind of the Incredibles principle right now. If everybody's a target, nobody's a target. We got Ghost and Furia, Overlords are great to do. Huzzah and Ghetto SC. I'm not, you know, Ghetto doesn't have any abilities, but you know, still good to do. And you know, Guardians also great to drain. So you know, it's a good thing to have. He just kind of has to use it on everybody all the time. Now, he has to also run away, but keep an eye on him. He's at 1.61 speed, or 1.81 speed, but he is being plagued, and he probably won't die from plague at this point, but he has to retreat because he's going to keep on burning. Unlike in the regular game of StarCraft Star Battle, you do start getting to this heavily damaged mode, where after about a quarter of your life, you start dying slowly, cripplingly, sadly, and, you know, he runs away before that. Butthairs taking a bunch of damage. Butthairs has Afterburners to try to avoid being shot again. Little Kondraak launching his Scourge. Defensive Matrix being used. Raphael launching his Scourge in retaliation for the Scourge that were launched against him. And will Contract be able to run away? He has 1.71 speed. That's going to at least keep him away from Ghetto. I mean, he has 1.71 speed as well. The angles are going to be important. And perfect shot from the Thermal Lance there by Predator. Thermal Lance does just enough damage to kill the Scourge. And does he do it again? He does. Contract saved by the Thermal Lance of the Predator. And so he's going to try another target who is not protected by Thermal Lance. He's going to launch him against Jimber. Jimber is going to limbo away. He's going to take a bunch of damage. And Fire Stash is kind of going on. He's just saying, I mean, he has his Seeker Missile. He also has Defensive Matrix. Defensive Matrix being the more helpful thing at the moment because it's, you know, he can't quite get into the range. And Ghetto taking a bunch of damage from the tower. But, you know, he upgraded his missiles. Missiles are doing quite a bunch. 96 times 6. So he, against shields and, you know, 80 times 6 against other stuff. And essentially he's just trying to damage down the War Prism. Will they commit to it? They possibly could. If Raphael launches another round of Scourge, it could go down, but they didn't want to advance too much, especially with Kondrak launching his stuff at Furia. Now Furia is like really susceptible to Scourge. There was a Thermal Lance attempt. I think it might have hit a couple of them, but Overlords are extremely susceptible to Scourge, just because Scourge have a bunch of life. Let's see, 125 life, and there's no way that the little Angel Blasts are ever going to like go, you know, kill that in the time that it takes to get them. Predator taking a bunch of damage though. Predator taking a whole bunch of damage. Now he has Hardened Shield. Hardened Shield reduces the damage of the next 56 incoming attacks to the maximum of 50 damage. So if he was, you know, being shot with Scourge or, you know, these missiles, he's only taking 50 damage when he has that ability up. Beautiful right there, you know, Thermal Lance. Now we got kind of the Butt Hairs and Gothic combination launching their missiles, and they both have Afterburners, so they could stay up there. Ooh, we got a Thermal Lance, or a Thermal Torpedo, Fusion Torpedo, also an option. Now, I mean, they're all lined up as well. But we got Raphael kind of going back now. Again, he has 325 energy, wants to use that Scourge at 125 all the time. So he can launch it once. He can't quite launch it the second time until he uses, there we go, Darkstorm to protect himself. If he used Adrenal Overlord mode, yes. But Predator taking a whole bunch of damage. Now Predator is heavily damaged, but you know, at a Colossus, most of what you really care about is your shield life. But he can't repair himself independently, so he has to go back to base to do so. Gonna be burning for a while. Sometimes you see Colossus kind of like living on the edge, man, and you know, burning while they're flying around, and that just happens to not be the case in this situation. Boom! Big blomp right there. The upgraded Plague, which I wish that they, like, you know, modified it, you know, maybe called like Bubonic Plague or something like that, but they didn't, because they can't. Psyblast, also a good option. You got the burning them on the inside and blasting them from the outside. Wombo combo right there. And that's pretty much what you're going to see from a lot of Overlords. They're high damage, very, you know, like glass cannony mages guy. And we got a Kondrak having to run away. Now Ghost, he doesn't have any more energy, but if he did, there's a nuke that hit Butt Hairs right there. And Kondrak taking another shot, but will be enough? Not quite. Ghetto C was definitely in the range, kind of like made Butt Hairs' Seeker Missile, or not Seeker Missile, Thermal Lance hit him as well. If I go down, I'm taking you with me type thing. Colossus shields at 11, but they're not being, you know, auto-repaired or anything like that. And because he doesn't have any abilities at the moment, like any whatsoever abilities at all. So Predator moving on in, they're just launching everything they possibly can at Jimber. The frigate buddies now healed up, ready to go, and they have the 1.82 speed, so they can catch anybody. And oh, there's a beach ball of happiness as opposed to a beach ball of sadness from this Colossus. He has Guardian Shield. He has the Guardian Shield. It's going to create a range 3 aura, and it's going to reduce every damage in that area by 40%. Now, will it be enough though? Predator is really trying to chase off the Ghost. Fury is going to run away, and more Scourge. 800 life left, and on Butt Hairs. Another Scourge will definitely take him out. He's going to have to run back to base. I mean, he's burning up. He's going to have to just get there as far as possible. A good save by Predator while we're talking to help Gothic stay alive. Gothic using his afterwears to keep on moving back. He has the quick reload function, which is underused. Immediately finishes the cooldown of Backlash Rocket. So instead of 4, you shoot it twice. So bam, bam. And then you thank you, ma'am, for like 4 seconds. But, you know, once you shoot twice, doing as much damage as he's doing, that could be great. Jimber now also upgraded the damage ability, has Electromagnetic Storm. And Electromagnetic Storm is going to really also help 125 damage to light. Now, why is 125 damage important? Because those do have 125 life. So, again, he has his best defensive ability as an offensive attack. Huzzah, you know, kind of like staying out there, still being used. Guardian's Shield really did come in handy. I mean, there's any missile that you can negate by 40% is going to be great. Raphael, being cautious. He's a Guardian. Guardians, you pretty much never have enough health. You always are in danger of dying. You're pretty much always in that yellow, and that yellow is a lot less strong than many people. Oh, I think Ghetto has the ability where if he flies into force fields, they die. The range on it is like extremely silly. You have to like literally make contact with it, so it's not, you know, the most helpful, but it is also extra damage that you can do once you run into it. It's a whole thing. We got Huzzah taking a bunch of damage. Huzzah, you know, being British and running away. I think it's Huzzah. Or something else. Anyway, we got Bud Harris launching that beating torpedo, swinging a miss, and Predator being invincible right now. Predator being invincible right now with that invulnerability shield, making him able to be shot but not being able to do damage. He tried to use that to scare away the rest of the team. Furia being attacked, Conjure back, having to run away. Ghost has Side Blast and it's upgraded to 1840. Beautiful play does barely tap the Arbiter. I wasn't quite sure. And the Arbiter is just going to be lower and lower health. He's going to try to run around with his buddies, but he's going to basically go into, or very close to, the heavily damaged. Let's see which one it is. Just barely squeezed by with 1800 life. Just enough not to die, but also kind of put him in a position where he's going to run around at very low life. So the blue side has to run away. It's a 5 versus 6 right now. Ghost has Side Blast. He also has Siphon Energy. Good. Always good to do. Want to drain anybody's energy that you possibly can. Fire Stash running away as well. Furia going back. Now the red side is mostly retreating. They have some high damage dealers, but kind of like more like burst damage as opposed to, like, you could call the missiles more sustained damage. They're high damage, but they're like they'll continue firing without any energy, I guess is the best way of saying it. Boom. Blast. Furia goes in. Range 14 on that Side Blast is great, but it's very easy to go. Range 14 is larger than, what is this, range 12? Well, range 12 is still pretty close, you know? Ghetto-SC taking a bunch of damage. Ghetto-SC does have Recharge Shield right now, 250 energy to support it. He's out of energy right now, and he's definitely, you know, susceptible to being drained his 400 energy. Now, I think that does mean that he has the special upgrade, you know, systems update for Arbiters, Kygarian Core, which makes him drain up to 400 energy. And we got Raphael launching his Scourge, Conjure back taking a bunch of damage, and there's not very much that Jimber can do about it. But there's a nuke coming in, and he does hit everybody. But Conjure was taken out. Predator in the perfect position with his invulnerability shield to keep on putting pressure on the red side, and he's gonna keep on diving because he's at basically full health, and Furia has 1.82 speed. Predator has 1.71 speed, so they're relatively comparable. But then Predator is gonna be almost out of energy, and out of shield most definitely, but almost out of energy as well. Jimber going in 1.91 speed. Has a recharge shield and is gonna have to try to maybe use it against I guess against or for Predator. Ghost diving in. Ghost has very little health, and Ghost, I think he was trying to go I'm too close to be touched, and that range is pretty hard to do, especially when the opponent has 1.92 speed. So Ghost is taken out. Now let's see, the blue side were able to pick one up in kind of the most unorthodox way. Not with what they were looking for, but it did end up working out, which is just fine. Happy little accidents. We got the blue side advancing to the red side retreating after, I mean, even though they're at relatively full health, they don't want to, like, fight for a little bit. They want to regroup mentally and otherwise spiritually. EMP the Shockwave, a great option. Always want to use it against everybody. Even people who don't, I guess, focus on energy are still good to have their energy drained. So what I mean by that is, like, somebody like Arbiter obviously is like the mage. He has force field and feedback and electromagnetic storm, but just because frigates aren't high energy, they're still somewhat energy intensive. You know, if you can stop a fusion torpedo or delay it, if you can stop some afterburners, do it. Everybody needs to be drained. There's some people who might need to be drained more than others. Right? Everybody's equal. We got that, Raven. Launching the Seeker Missile. Hey, you know, Seeker Missile can chase them. Butthairs might choose to run away from it using that afterburners, and he does. Popping the hot Cheetos right there. We got a Furia moving on up. Butthairs turned. Oh, plagued. Turned into a plague as well. I mean, not turned into one, like became one, but like turned in the direction of the plague. We got Ghetto SC pushing. Ghetto SC, 300 energy now, recharge shield, obviously his main thing. Went for a lot of upgrades on his shields, 13 versus 9 versus 9. Ghetto SC, taking a bunch of damage, especially being affected by the, by the defensive matrix. And diving in again. More prisms still alive somehow, so they're going to see what they're going to have to do about it. And, you know, will they be able to stay enough? I don't know. With these Tempests, not the most happy. But we see some Brood Lords right back there. We see some Brood Lords also adding a little bit of damage as well to the Warp Prism. Let's see if we can pick up any cute little... I want to see them. Okay, there they are. Broodlings. Needle damage, 20, 74 health. You know, they do just enough damage to, like, scare them off. And, you know, red side running on away. Sky Furies flying on up. Got to meet their doom. They do, you know, meet all their buddies up there. Slightly, you know, it's not a bad idea. He has the energy, 500 for it. So electromagnetic storm, not bad to have. Being used all the time. And we got Predator moving on up. Vulnerability shield, thermal lance, 675 energy investment into that. Meaning that his thermal lance is great and can be used whenever he's not having an energy drained. It does 125 plus 1556. I'm not going to try to do that on air. But that's mostly what he has. His particle disruptors are like okay for farming and not even great. Antimatter missiles exist, you know, also, but you know, they're not gonna finish anybody off. He's really mainly focusing on thermal lance, getting in there with his vulnerability shield, launching thermal lance, staying alive. Ghetto SC seems to be more on the shields and like sustained damage thing. No thermal lance at the moment. Antimatter missiles is pretty much higher though. Let's see, we got the red side now making their advancement. Jimper running away. He has the you know, electromagnetic storm. He's not afraid to use it. I think that, yep, that did miss from Furia. We see Ghost is advocating for use of hardened shields, which is always a good option. Let's see, we got actually, that's it. He has very little energy right now. He might have to use Adrenal Overload preemptively to try to gain some of that back. Because you really, I mean, if you can set up like a contain, the more spawn Brood Lords, the better. I think they're going for the second tower right now, it looks like. Defensive Matrix certainly being helpful. The extra damage from the you know, antimatter missiles does more versus shields, so you know, doing a little bit more right there. Will that be enough? I don't know. It's risky. It's a risky strategy, but it could work. You know, risky because there's two frigates very close. The entire red side is you know, in one little area, and you know that there's you know, torpedo existing. So we gotta. Everybody moving back. We got Predator moving on up. We got Predator using that vulnerability shield, you know, trying to be there. And we got a hold up. We got an offensive hold up. And we got a nuke We got a nuke coming on in, and it might have missed. It might have missed. We got a KOC defending. We got a Predator moving on up. He does not care. He wants to be super close. He wants to take out Firestaff, and Firestaff was taking out the Butthairs. Butthairs is going to keep on going, but now he's the one who's taking a bunch of damage, and he doesn't have his activators back up just yet, and there they are. The tower still clinging on to life, maybe possibly taken out now, but maybe added a little bit of damage protection, and it looks like the two frigates are still alive. We got Huzzah moving back. Now, he didn't try to kill Ghetto SC right there. He was just trying to protect him from, from damage. I guess, with the Thermal Lance. We got, Raphael. He has a whole bunch of energy, and but he has to kind of be cautious because the rest of the team is moving on back. Guardians are great at doing damage when they're facing the enemy, but they always have the risk of being damaged a lot, and even though he's, like, relatively close to full health, these missiles are just going to crush through whatever he can. So the red side moves back. The red side moves on back. And, Furia moving, everybody's just kind of regrouping. Let's keep an eye on the blue side. All back at base, healing on up. Let's see, 19.5 damage mitigation, has 750 energy, so even more Thermal Lance. Again, sacrificing whatever energy money he can into energy, just so he can do more and more Thermal Lance. Even if he gets EMP, he's gonna want to be able to do Thermal Lance. Even if he gets Siphon, he wants to do Thermal Lance. We got Jimber moving on up. He obviously has the stasis, has a Chrono Boost as well. Now that's great to use. I mean, it increases how much kind of the damage output of people, and Gothic and Butthairs are both high damage output people anyway. So why not double down? Still the best chicken sandwich, controversially. We got Raphael launching his Scourge from a far distance, and they're gonna get zapped. And zapped even more. They're gonna get zapped one way with the electromagnetic storm, and zapped the other way with Thermal Lance. Ghetto SC moving on up. He's got the 1.82 speed, cranked out 400 money for that speed upgrade. Huzzah! Using his energy for Guardian Shield. Guardian Shield, reducing anything that he is to by 40%. Perfect Blade does hit the Predator right there. Predator taking a whole bunch of damage. Again, he has, like, just basically shields. And when you're a Colossus, that's really what you care about. Ghetto SC, driving in. He knows that his missiles do a whole bunch of damage, but he really has 70 energy, and he's going to have to keep on doing that. He does use Hardened Shield, which only costs 50. 67 attacks upgraded. Predator taking a bunch of damage. Moving on back. We got the Arbiter sort of in the position to heal, but not necessarily doing it. We got a Torpedo coming on in, and it does hit Raphael. There was a little, like, X of damage right there in death, and the Guardian taken out. It's a 3 versus 4 right now. Guardian, the long distance damage dealer, is dead. Huzzah, moving on up. Huzzah has, the energy, but he doesn't have recharge shield. So, the missiles that are in the area, sure, they can be blocked by things like Hardened Shield. Perfect play, hitting 1, 2, 3 people, I think. Now Furia has to turn away. He's got 1.82 speed. Again, speed is key here because, if you can stay within that 11 range, you're the one doing damage. Especially since the other ones are not doing damage like that. We got Predator moving on up. He wants to use his Thermal Shields, Thermal Lance so badly, and Huzzah and Furia are in quite a bunch of, trouble right there. They're both taken out by Predator. Predator goes on in with the Thermal Lance, and Ghetto SC is also taken out. And there we go. That is going to be game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you guys send your replays to MaffumanCasting@gmail.com. Press like, press subscribe. We are doing StarCraft Star Battle all the time.